All right. Hi, everyone. So it's 2 o'clock in Mauritius. We're so happy to have you with us today for today's webinar around the Africa FinTech Festival. It's a big launch. It's the day, and it's going to be just a super cool journey. So we have a global audience, I think, today. So we hope that everyone is doing well wherever you are. And that you're safe, you know, with your loved ones. So my name is Marie-Laure. I'm the head of business development at the Mauritius Africa FinTech Hub, based in Mauritius. I'll be surrounded today by great speakers from Egypt, Uganda, from Mauritius, and even Denmark to introduce you to the FinTech Festival. Right, so just a few housekeeping items before we start. The webinar will last around 45 minutes. Your lines will be muted, so there will be a Q&A session at the end. So feel free to use the chat function, just raise your hand towards the end of the webinar. This webinar will be recorded for those who can't make it through to the end or for any of your friends that could not join. So this is going to be recorded. And I already thank everyone for coming on board, joining us. And I hope that everyone from the speaker side is fully enthusiastic. So I can see you and you're smiling. So that's good. So the objective is straightforward. I'm going to introduce you Noah in a few seconds. There are 2 key dates to keep in mind. The first date is the 16th of June. For the first one-day virtual event, and the second date to keep in mind is in October. So that's the 13th to the 15th of October for the hybrid event. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Noah. And she's vice president of the Africa FinTech Network, and she's going to outline the theme and the key objectives of the festival. So Noah, it's over to you now.
Thank you very, very much, Marie, for the lovely introduction. FinTech, sustainability, and innovation. Those are the 3 magic words, the power trail that is going to help us fast forward Africa's sustainable economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute pleasure and a great honor, of course, to be part of the opening speech at this year's Mauritius Africa FinTech Festival, representing Africa's FinTech Network as its vice president. Well, AFF mainly was launched at first in 2018. The very first round was in Nigeria. It was all about the future of FinTech in Africa. The second edition was held in Uganda a year later in 2019, and it was about the role of FinTech and how it evolved in Africa and how it can contribute to its digital economy. This year, of course, we are really, really pleased to be joining you from Mauritius virtually today and again in June and hopefully in October in person to continue our wonderful lineup of speakers and very current and topics and issues that mainly tackle all the needs of Africa today. The objectives of our AFF this year mainly sums up to what are the solutions that are present on the ground, highlights of the ecosystem successes and results. What have we done? We're going to showcase success. We are going to look into our strategy as a network, how to drive partnerships and funds as well to support FinTech development and the growth of that nurturing ecosystem. We are going to be looking at regulations and how can they enable FinTech and unblock innovation. How can innovators become partners to our growth and development? And then we are going to look into some knowledge sharing, providing learning opportunities around the FinTech scene in Africa. Definitely, I wish to welcome all our partners, ecosystem stakeholders, and participants to our event this year. The team here in Mauritius, Mikal, and everybody on board have done a great job, and they actually have raised the bar and made it really, really challenging for other hosting countries of the AFF to come. Thank you very much for having me, and looking forward to seeing you again in June and in person in Mauritius in October. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you very much for this intro. So, it's really crucial for everyone now, even in the COVID situation, to meet, be it virtually or in person. And we wanted to highlight as well the key successes from previous editions, because it's the third edition now of the FinTech Festival. And we wanted to have one of the participants at that time, Zayana, who's going to go through the few key successes of the last edition, right? So Zayana, are you here? If you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, let me move to the next slide. Yeah.
Greetings from Uganda, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the launch of the Africa FinTech Festival 2021. Thank you, Noah, for the introduction. I will start by thanking the Africa FinTech Network for having given us the opportunity to host the Africa FinTech Festival 2019. And since then, we've been looking forward to going to Mauritius, and finally, Mauritius is here and we're excited. We've had hosting the Africa FinTech Festival was a great opportunity for Uganda and I think for Nigeria as well, because we were able to unlock the market. We were able to show the industry who we are, what FinTech can do for the different ecosystems. And if we all came together across Africa, we would actually have better value propositions for everyone as FinTechs, as regulators, as customers, as users, and investors, and everyone else. So for both of us, Nigeria and Uganda, at least we've had, from the time we hosted the festival, our membership grew by 200%. And that was a great opportunity for us. We had then 55 members, but now we have 155. That's over 200%, which is a great opportunity for you to actually host the Africa FinTech Festival, because many FinTechs will actually realize what value you have that there's value in coming together. There's value in being part of the community. And with that, we also had the Africa FinTech Festival opened up a door where we could also engage with the regulators freely and openly. And from those discussions, we've been able to review different policies, say the National Payments Bill. The FinTechs have been involved in the National Payments Bill in Uganda. We've been involved in the Data Privacy Bill in Uganda. We've been with the regulators. We can call the regulators our friends at this point, simply because of the hosting the Africa FinTech Festival. We were able to get recognition, because everyone's like, FinTech is small, it's a small industry. But when you host a big thing like the festival, then people recognize, like, you're not just small, you have big dreams. So we were able to have stakeholder recognition. We are in touch with all associations, industry associations that have been around for the last 20 years, but now they're all coming to us, recognize us, because we've shown the value, we've shown the muscle, we've shown the bigger picture of the FinTech ecosystem in Uganda. We've also been able to build solid partners with FinTechs, banks, insurance companies, and FinTech community. We have the trust, we have the members on board. And also we are seeing many investments coming into the country, because now they know about us. They know we have the numbers, we have the regulation in place for us. We have everything to play. So now everyone is open to coming to the market, and with trust. And people, like investors, always want to know what is the regulatory landscape in your country, in your ecosystem. So the festival helps unlock those conversations, helps unlock the trust, helps enrich those conversations that you've been having with the different regulators in your ecosystems. Yes. We've also been able to increase our membership. You know, like you have members, but are they paying? So because of the festival now, members are actually willing to pay us membership fee, because as associations can only survive if their members see value and can ably pay their membership fees for them to actually stay afloat. So yes. Thank you so much for having me and for the time to speak to you.
Thank you so much, Diana. I'm very pleased to see you with a big smile, and then, you know, talk through the great things that was achieved. And that's really the purpose of what we do, is to facilitate open collaboration throughout the countries. It's not regional now, it's a level, continent level, and that's what we're here for. Now I wanted to speak a bit more about Mauritius, because we were awarded the rights to host, you know, this beautiful event in Mauritius this year. And I wanted to introduce you now to two speakers. First of all, Mix Szymanski, the CEO of the Mauritius Africa FinTech Association, and Faraz, who's heading the finance department at the Economic Development Board. And I think these two great persons are key to make this year's, you know, edition a success. So I'll leave you, both of you, say a few words. First with Michal, Mix.
Perfect.
I'll leave it to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mari. Can you see me? Is
yes.
My camera on? Perfect. So good afternoon from very wet Port Louis, Mauritius. Very warm welcome to an event that's been now in the planning for more than 2 years nearly. I'll never forget the day I met the African FinTech Network, and we started collaborating around what FinTech in Africa should look like. And it was a special time being in Kampala, Uganda for the second edition of the festival. So a big thank you to the African FinTech Network, which has really come a long way in the last couple of years. You know, it's always amazing to see, yes, that on one side we are competing with each other. You know, every ecosystem strives to do the best for itself, for its fintechs and for the country as a whole, but it's really warm to see that so many different stakeholders can get together and realize that we are actually working together for the benefit of Africa as a whole. And for me, that's what the FinTech Festival is really all about. It's about bringing people together from different backgrounds, getting the conversations going, and really engaging on open collaborations. Because yes, there's 54 different countries and 54 different ecosystems. We're at different stages. But I think what I really like about the African FinTech Network and the African FinTech Festival is that our purposes align. We are all trying to serve ourselves, our ecosystems, and Africa as a whole. So for us, you know, receiving the flag, one of the proudest moments of my life, receiving the flag from the chairman, Dr. Segunya in Kampala, and Mauritius being awarded the right to host the festival was a really, really special day in the presence of the Minister, I think it was of Information, that was present during the festival in Kampala. And now it's our turn, Mauritius' turn to host this. So we've got a very full calendar. We, as Noha alluded to the fact, we're lifting the bar. We want to really showcase with not only the type of innovations that are coming from the continent, but also the adoption of those innovations and what impact they have on people's lives. Because technology, at the end of the day, whether you're in fintech, agri-tech, whatever tech, is there to make human lives better. And what a better way to showcase the various technologies that are being built by the various member countries and across the continent than to highlight that, show that together, show that, you know, the technology is being developed from various countries, but it is also there to serve the human beings at the end of the day. You know, if we can save 5 hours out of a week for a person not having to stand in a bank queue, if people before who have been excluded from the digital economy before are now partaking and have opportunities or access to finance that have never had it before, That is what fintech and the technology is trying to achieve from a purpose perspective. So I'm personally very, very excited. I'm like a child that was told that by my parents that I could go to the festival last year. As everybody knows, this was supposed to happen in May last year. And we were really ready to go. We were just a few inside stories on our side. We actually had to start talking to the national carrier for potentially more flights into the country. Our biggest concern was back then was not the fact that so many people are coming, was the fact that we're going to put them. So we even had ideas of putting them on catamarans and ships and host them overnight in various accommodations, because we were actually running low on accommodation. So as everybody can imagine, for us this is a big opportunity, not only to showcase Mauritius, but more importantly showcase our ability to bring all those nations together. 31 African countries, 16 countries from across the world, from Switzerland to Singapore to Japan to Australia to India to Canada, and really empowering people with the right tools and to show them where this space is leading to. Because waiting in bank queues in 2021 should not be a thing of the present, it should be a thing of the past. Getting access to capital, sharing of data, what does it look like? So for us, this is a great celebration of things to come. We're really excited to be here. It's last year, May, during the days of the festival, I think I was a little bit depressed. I was so looking excited for those 3 days that we had planned, and we are back-to-back planned. Having all the ministers, the country, Mauritius, has generously extended full protocol to foreign dignitaries. We're going to host foreign government officials from across the globe. So for me, my message today is we're very excited. It's been a long journey. I know you've stayed with us. We've had to move the days a few times because I don't even think COVID's considered force majeure from an insurance perspective anymore. But the world's changed a little bit, but we are still here. This is real. It is happening, and I really invite you to join us in this journey and the celebration of not only Mauritius or what other countries have, but the celebration of what this technology has been able to do in the lives of so many people on this continent and across the world. So Marilo, thank you much for the opportunity. Thank you everyone for participating today, and we really look forward to seeing you there for the virtual event, and more so in October for the in-person event, where we are sneak peek, ladies and gentlemen. We are still hoping to potentially turn an entire waterfront into a fintech village. But I'm giving away state secrets now. I'll hand it back over to Marilo, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thanks, Marilo.
Thank you. And don't forget, we've got very nice, beaches here, and hopefully everything will be open, for sightseeing around the island. So that's a good transition to Mr. Hojit, who's heading a finance department. Maybe Mr. Hojit likes going to the beach when allowed. But on a more serious note, leaving up to you, say a few words about the EDB, and I know that you're proud supporter of the festival.
Absolutely, thank you, Marilo. And just something, probably a technical glitch, because I could not see Mix, probably because you're sharing your screen still. I don't know. I'm just sharing it before.
Okay.
I can see you for us when you speak.
Okay, great. I couldn't see you. So thank you, Marilo. One of the formidable challenges of speaking of the Mix is you've got nothing exciting left to say. So I'll try to do justice of the 3 minutes allocated to me. Firstly, let me talk about the EDB. The EDB is the apex organization and the investment promotion agency of the government of Mauritius. It operates under the aegis of the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning and Development. And its main role is to act as the main institute responsible for country branding and investment promotion. It is also tasked to advise on strategic planning and economic policy formulation. And it is there to ensure a conducive business environment in Mauritius. For those who may not know, the EDB commenced operations as a statutory body. We are governed under the EDB Act 2018. So we started operations as a statutory body on the 15th of January 2018, following the merger between the ex-Board of Investment Enterprise Mauritius, and the Financial Services Promotion Agency. The overarching objective of the EDB is to ensure greater coherence, effectiveness in the implementation of policies, and also to draw the vision for the economic development path of Mauritius. So what is the role of EDB in terms of fintech? The EDB acts both as the promoter and the quasi-regulator for fintech activities, for which there are no regulatory framework in Mauritius as the administrator of the sandbox license. I hasten to add one thing: we are the quasi-regulator because finally, and the ultimate decision of granting a sandbox license for a fintech activity rests on what we call the NRSL committee, which is a National Regulatory Sandbox License Committee for fintech activities. That committee is chaired by Lord Anthony St. John of Bledsoe of the House of Lords. Now, there is a convergence when it comes to fintech licensing in Mauritius, because the NRSL committee brings together policymakers and regulators, including the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Financial Services, the Bank of Mauritius, the Financial Services Commission, which is the non-banking financial regulator in Mauritius, the EDB, of course, and the Attorney General's Office. Now, since we started with the NRSL committee in September 2019, we have issued, the EDB has issued licenses for fintech projects in a diverse portfolio, including initial coins offerings, cryptocurrencies, exchange platforms, digital wallets, crowdfunding platforms, and blockchain-enabled alternative securities platforms, amongst others. Now, when it comes to promoting the jurisdiction, the EDB works together in tandem with the Mauritius Africa FinTech Hub to really position Mauritius as an international financial center of choice, and then as a fintech hub for Africa by the MAFH. Now, I won't be long, but the government has really adopted a digital strategy which is rooted in sustainable innovation, and it has established what the right framework to graduate the sophistication of the jurisdiction for innovative segments to be nurtured, including fintech activities. So with new technologies like blockchain, AI, etc., Mauritius has really accelerated its move to embrace digitization. And then, of course, I think Nora mentioned it earlier, we need to also pave the way for the regulatory aspects. So I'm pleased to share with you just briefly that Mauritius has already created a few licenses when it comes to the global fintech landscape, including the custodian services for digital asset license, the digital asset marketplace license. The Financial Services Commission has issued what you call a guidance note on securities token offerings, where you have really defined what is a token, what is a virtual asset, and how it is captured under the Securities Act in Mauritius. And then, of course, you have the Financial Services Peer-to-Peer Lending Rules 2020. So absolutely, as you mentioned, Marilo, we are equally excited as the FinTech Association to host, to support the FinTech Association to host the AFF this year in Mauritius. The AFF will pull together the best brains, both locally and internationally, and this will most definitely help transform not only Mauritius, but also the region as an oasis of technology and the delivery of financial services solutions through technology. So we are very much supportive of that on behalf of the government of Mauritius. We are providing all our support to the Africa FinTech Network and also the Mauritius Africa FinTech Hub to ensure the smooth holding of the AFF in Mauritius this year. And we really look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Fahaz. Thank you. And we're very proud to have it with, on the island today. just to also, yeah, as you say, to showcase how important for Mauritius as well it is, you know, to see that fintech projects are moving forward on the island. So I think now I'm sure everyone would like to understand a bit more about the 3 days event. So I'm going to run you through a few key, you know, key projects that we have. So as I mentioned before, there are a few events, you know, to save in your agendas, the 16th of June. So why do we have virtual and hybrid? We decided on those 2 dates for 2 reasons. The first is because of the current COVID situation. You know, most of the conferences now have gone virtual, and it was very important for us to provide, you know, a virtual facility for those who can't travel. Second is also that we wanted to keep, you know, an event that would have a human interaction, you know, this feel of, you know, getting business to business, you know, from a physical perspective is always very productive. And we didn't want to lose that. And I think that was something that was there, you know, since the IFF inception in the past few years. And we know the COVID situation, we understand it. So we wanted to give you a teaser of what would happen, you know, during the bigger event in October, already in June, because it's been long awaited, I know, for many of you. So about the participation, so who is participating? The event is really open to the wide ecosystem. Anyone wanting to understand more about fintech from a Pan-African perspective. This means entrepreneurs, startups, investors, corporates, universities as well. Very important to keep them in the loop. SMEs and tech companies, right? So that's really open to everyone, even to non-fintechs. Why not? Who wants to understand a bit more about the regulatory framework, for example, or other projects that are driven by fintechs. So about the agenda, you'll see here on this slide a few topics. And I think what I wanted to mention here is that we're touching base on the 4 key pillars of the Mauritius Africa FinTech Hub. That means, you know, innovation and incubation, regulation, we spoke about it, but that's very important. Skills and capacity building, which is very, very key as well. And we'll have an interview with a few of our key members. So in terms of themes, so it's going to be very much around digital banking, education, investment, innovation. So we really invite you to come and register on the website. So, you know, you see the address there. Come and have a look, register your interest. You can register your friends if they agree, of course, your partners and network. Because the great news here is that the event is free, so everyone can join and log in, you know, to attend some of these events or all topics that are presented here. Now, when it comes to the second event, who is hybrid, we wanted to have it physical, as I just mentioned, but given the situation, I'm sure that some of you won't be able to travel. Given the COVID-19 here and abroad. So we'll create a modular kind of platform that will allow both virtual and physical interaction. So you'll see here we've got different rooms, and what we want to, you know, transmit as information is, despite the fact that we have, of course, traditional setup, you know, with keynotes, with panel discussions from dignitaries, from CEOs, C-suite executives, etc., we also have some room for interaction, so product launches, but also showcase of what, you know, fintechs can do, you know, in the space. as well as learning workshop. So we'll touch base on different topics, you know, from blockchain to peer-to-peer lending, from AI to insurance. So it's going to be very interactive, and that's what is very important to us. And when it comes to the agenda will be, of course, a bit more rich than the 1st of June, because it's a 3-day event. You'll see here some of the already designed, you know, theme around policy strategy, around deal flow, and I'm moving to the next slide, around skills, capacity building, innovation, and a few workshops I was just mentioning. So we expect around 2,000 attendees and over 40 speakers. So we raise the bar, that's true. We want you to participate, we want you to join, you know, and to make sure that everyone is taking advantage of this wonderful event that we're bringing to you. So on how now you can participate, how can you get really involved? So there are various ways. One of the ways is to sponsor the event. We're looking for sponsors, you know, as for any event that you might expect, we will need, you know, sponsor. But it's great for any companies actually to show, you know, where you are, to meet, you know, with the network. There's going to be a lot of different features on our virtual platform for business matchmaking, because we also all hear about the ROI and what is the return, you know, for your company to attend the meeting or few meetings. So we will make everything towards towards making an impact, you know, for your company when it comes to our marketing package, but also when it comes to business matchmaking. We'll have a dedicated VIP, what we call the Rockstar Lounge, that will be a great platform for interaction. And we've got, of course, few speaker slots in the main conference room, but at the different workshops, which will live as well to the sponsors. And of course, you know, it's going to be complimentary access for your clients, your networks, your partners, your friends. If you want to participate as an individual, there's going to be a small fee for the 3-day event, which is set at $50, right? And so you can, of course, register your interest, and I didn't mention that in the previous slide, on the website. I will keep repeating, but the website, Africa FinTech Festival.org, is the place where you'll get all the information, and there will be a lot more information that will be shared, you know, on that platform. So keep an eye at it, you know, save it maybe somewhere on your browser. Just to make sure, because a lot of things are happening and we're still a few months away from the event. So I wanted to here mention, you know, where we come from. As Mix was saying earlier, there is, we know we grow since over almost 3 years, the Mauritius Africa FinTech Hub, and also in collaboration with the Africa FinTech Network. We've got quite a lot of people, companies that are trusting us. So you'll see some of them here, some of them will participate, and we're already in touch, you know, for the festival. There will be many speakers from this company, and that's not only one slide, but that's also the second slide here. And I'm sure you will recognize some of them. There will be more moving forward, but this slide is just to see that, you know, we've got now an ecosystem that's growing, that will further grow as we move forward. And you can, by participating to the event, you'll surely meet incredible talents, you know, that are from the private or the public sectors that will drive the energy super hub for the ecosystem to strive, for discussions to happen, for laws to change, etc. So we're super energetic about, you know, and super proud to have all of these, you know, companies that are trusting us. and you can count on them, you know, for their attendance and then for presence during the festival. So there are a few media partners as well for the promotional part. And I wanted to actually highlight, you know, two of our amazing future speakers. So I'm going to start maybe with Sophie and then Olivier. I'm going to ask Sophie to present, you know, herself and to mention really shortly what she does. And Sophie has accepted, and thank you really millions of times, to be a keynote speaker at the October event. So Sophie, I just leave it to you now, if you can unmute your mic. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Marie-Laure, for that kind introduction. I'm really looking forward to it. So hello, everyone. I'm Sophie Blackstead. I'm CEO of Hive Online. We're helping agricultural communities in sub-Saharan Africa build wealth with our blockchain-based community finance solution. We have two, MyCoop Online for cooperatives and VSLA.online for savings groups. We give everyone identity, a wallet, and a digital history without the need for everyone to have a phone. So we're democratizing access for the poorest communities. My background's in building international banks in 60 countries. I've worked for 8 international banks, delivering core banking and payment solutions and helping them build new businesses. But nowadays, I also write about fintech and blockchain, and we also do research for central banks, UN, NGOs, and so forth, but mostly on sustainable applications of blockchain and the economic impact of fintech on the poorest countries. My latest book, Fintech Revolution, Universal in the New Financial Ecosystem, is really a manifesto for what we do, particularly focused on Africa. And I also chair the Edinburgh Futures Institute's Financial Industry and FinTech Industry Advisory Panel. So get around a lot, and that actually gives me a lot of insights into the broader world, as well as obviously the real on-the-ground work that my company does. So I'll be talking about my journey to realizing that, you know, what smallholder farmers need most is trust. You know, hundreds of millions of African smallholder farmers can't get access to the capital they need because they have no digital records. Buyers don't trust them to deliver either. So reaching markets is difficult and expensive for them. And that means they can't afford to improve their crop care and productivity. And that leads to generational poverty. And one of our core beliefs is that if we help our customers to get richer, they'll obviously increase the wealth of their communities, and they'll buy more stuff off us. So we are a for-profit. And it's a hard nut to crack with technology because most of the poorest farmers work outside reliable phone signals, most lack access to electricity or phones. They're also some of the least literate people in the world in the countries we're in. But there is this huge opportunity. And if we can help increase productivity and access to markets, there's opportunity to improve sales, including for exports. And bear in mind, Africa's a net importer of food, which is crazy, and only does around 4% of global agricultural exports, despite having so much fertile land. So this is a huge opportunity. So I'll talk about how we're recording farmers' commitments and transactions on blockchain, using advanced analytics to build reliable digital reputations, help them build identity, linkages to the financial system and buyers, and how by working with communities, that means even the poorest can have an account and leverage their collective strengths to make markets and access finance. And also how by digitizing social bonds and using behavior loops and analytics, we can reward farmers meeting commitments and help them improve forecasting and crop care and benefit from meeting commitments to buyers. But I'll also be talking, I mean, we've mentioned regulations, and I'll be talking about the regulatory challenges, as well as technical, logistical and other challenges. It's a very fast moving technical and legislative environment. And I'll talk about how companies in this space need to navigate them and some of our experiences. And I hope that our experience working at the frontier of technical solutions for the least connected people will also help inspire some other businesses to join us in this exciting and very underserved market. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to joining the Africa FinTech Forum, learning from other entrepreneurs, meeting investors, financial institutions and potential partners, and learning about their experiences working with communities in Africa. It's a great opportunity to swap war stories, make new connections, and I really look forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you so much, Sophie. I think the subject of agriculture and fintech and helping the unbanked, and it's a great topic, and it's so current. So we really very much looking forward for your talk. So on a total different subject, I'm going to invite Olivier now to unmute himself. So Olivier, if you can now jump from one topic to the other, but just introduce who you are and then what you do, and maybe some insights into what you're going to talk about at the June event.
Yes, thanks, Marie-Laure. So I'm Olivier Meyer. I'm the CEO of Aero ECM World. We are an affiliate company of Aero, which is a French company, and we are in Mauritius since 11 years, and we are around 50 consultants. We integrate software and we create solutions for our customer to digitalize the activity. So we are more in the internal solution for company to find a solution to reach the service level agreement for having the data in time to process the document. We are more focused on the document and the content and the data. So we provide solution of electronic content management, capture, editing, and BI on content. We provide also coaching and training for a customer on solution. We are partner with the biggest software like DocuSign, OpenText, Microsoft, Nintex. So solution used to as a third part to bring solution for the company. And I will participate to the event streamlining customer due diligence to enhance customer experience. Because all company want to enhance the customer experience, but we can't miss also the security, the time to market, the closing date for some contract, and we need checkpoint. We need also to take the GDPR as a constraint, the Data Protection Act, the regulation rules applied to the data, to the document. So we are typically on this, and we provide best practice for that. So this is, I think, what we will discuss during this event. I'm also a consultant since many years now, more than 20. I work for the Luxembourg Stock Exchange. I made a big project of digitalization for Banque Al Maghrib, so Bank of Morocco. We work for bank in France and also in Mauritius. So we are really involved in the fintech, but once again, more in the corporate part. We are really excited to join this festival also because I think it's important to get the picture of what is the fintechs actually, because it changed, and what will be the future of the industry and around the fintech. Everything changed. Everybody need resilience and work remotely, but with a lot of stuff. And for that, I think it's important to meet, to have the network, to change the industry, and also to meet all of us in the same table.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I totally agree. And thank you again for bringing the subject of digital ID, which is also very key and at the heart of many of the concerns and maybe opportunities as well for many countries in the region. So thank you, everyone. Sorry, I unshared my screen for recording purposes. I'm not too sure what you see now. So this is a wrap for today's webinar. I again warmly thank everyone who has taken part in this webinar. I think we had a few participants. Before we just close, is there any questions from the audience here, from the attendees? I guess there you can use the chat function or just raise your hand. I think there is one. Let me just check. Okay, that's okay. So I think it's from Mr. or Mrs. Went Benga. You can talk, Roger. Hello? Mr. Roger?
I hope you are receiving me from Burkina Faso.
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I would like just to have the opportunity to take the floor to thank very much all the great team of Mauritius FinTech. And also all the team who are working very hard to organize the Africa FinTech Festival. I would like just to ensure all the ecosystem, the high level ecosystem that we at the national level, we are also empowering us to be ready to move forward in this industry opportunity. Yeah, I'm Roger Wenpanga Zundi. I'm one of the leads of the Africa of the FinTech Association here in Burkina Faso, and we have the great opportunity to work closely with one of the team of Africa FinTech Network, so who is working closely with us to let us empower our national association and be ready to attend every event you are organizing. I would like just to ask at the national level how we can just try to promote the event, maybe by holding something like a webinar at the national level to promote the event, and maybe try to organize ourselves to be part of the mix session at October. Is it possible? If in case it's possible, how can you be involved in this eventual webinar?
Thank you again, Roger, for raising your hand and for speaking. I think, yes, that's a great idea to organize another webinar at local level. We can help you and support you with dedicated, collateral. We've got already a lot of information that has gone through the IFN. So we can further talk about that, but totally, there is so much to do, at the local level to raise awareness, to provide few information and to make sure that your local ecosystem is benefiting from the Pan-African ecosystem. So we're happy to help. We can take that offline and then we'll guide you through what we believe would be good to further promote the event. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So, all right. All right. So, is there any other questions? Looking at the chat, if you see anything. No, I think I can't see more. Okay, I can't see any more questions. I think there's Owolabi saying something. I can't see anything more in the chat, Owolabi, unless you want to raise your hand. Okay, just checking. Apologies for that. All right. Oh, yes. Okay. Here's the link to become a sponsor. Is not working. Can one still register as a sponsor? Of course. Is there any technical momentarily or any issue that is currently on the website? It will be solved within, I think, next hour probably. I haven't checked, but it was working really well before we started. So just get in touch with us, and I think the MAFH team has perfectly answered that. So don't hesitate to go on the website. That's a good opportunity to talk about the website, which will be updated, but that's where you register your interest. Otherwise, you reach out to us on iff@mauritiusfintech.org. That's the email address to use if you have any questions that you can't find currently on the website. All right, or you can get to the contact page, of course. All right, okay. So I guess there's no open questions anymore. Again, thank you everyone for participating in this webinar. And I wish you a great week ahead, and we'll be in touch with many of you, hopefully, to talk more and more about the festival, that's upcoming. And in the meantime, just take care of yourself, stay safe wherever you are. And thank you. All right. So bye-bye to everyone. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your participation. Yeah. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.